Testing. Good evening, Shay. Should we do the
Yeah, so basically it's just self-contained.
In here?
So the other speaker is stored inside and we just put it and lay it over there. So all this stays. Yeah. Yeah, so the speaker set it over there, plug it in. Yeah,
Any of the other components worth anything?
just the power distribution.
They didn't like take the tie off and leave the jacket in the car.
Okay. Okay, we are back from closed session. We went into closed session at 4:30 and we are returning to open session at 6 o'clock. Shay, would you go ahead and read our opening?
Welcome to our board meeting. Documents provided to a majority of the governing board regarding this agenda will be made available for public inspection in the district office located at 20932 Big Canyon Road, Middletown, California during normal business hours. Such writings and documents will be posted on the district's website and clicking on Board of Education. A file copy is also available in the front of the meeting room. Said file is not to be removed from the room. A focus on all of our students' best interest is the touchstone for our decisions. Remember, it's okay to be hard on issues, not on people.
Thank you, Shay. And also, Shay, would you lead us in the pledge? This is your last board meeting with us. Trustee Lee, would you report on closed session, please?
No action was taken in closed session.
Okay, I need a motion for approval of the agenda as presented.
Move to approve. I second.
It's been moved by Trustee Lee, seconded by Trustee Berlager. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed 5-0. I need a motion approval of minutes. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Patchy, seconded by Trustee Oakes. All in favor say aye.
Zoe, real quick, just want to make sure you guys may, okay. Thank you. I had it up.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. Okay, Next, we're going to have some reports, and the first one I'd like to ask for a report is our student trustee.
So our AP testing started today. We had AP Literature today. Track CMCs is also today. I think they're still running right now. Powder Puff Volleyball is May 16th. Track NCS and Prom is May 17th. Senior Trip is May 20th through the 22nd, and we'll be going to Universal and Disneyland. Golden Mustangs are May 27th at 6, and Senior Awards are May 29th, I think also at 6. Our Step Up Rally and Field Day and Powder Puff Football are all May 30th throughout the entire day. And graduation will be June 6th at 6:30.
Okay, thank you, Shay. Trustee Patchy.
Can you skip me for a second and come back?
Sure can.
Sorry.
Trustee Oaks.
Anybody that doesn't know, the Middletown Sports Boosters is having a golf tournament at Hidden Valley on Saturday, as well as a dinner with a silent auction. So if you don't got anything going on Saturday, it'd definitely be a good time.
Thank you. Trustee Berlager.
On that note, I just wanted to say I'm obviously not going to list everything, but it's an exciting time of year. Graduation, senior projects, summer drama programs, field trips, Teacher of the Year, Golden Mustangs Award, prom, sporting events, fundraisers, teacher and staff appreciation. And what I wanted to say, I realized over the last couple days, is that our principals and our district and our school secretaries do a great job of sending out communication. So I know everybody gets a lot of emails and a lot of texts, but there's so much valuable information in those for dates, times, things that you can be at, ways to support. And so I just wanted to thank them for putting all that information out there and encourage everybody to check it out, because there is a good amount of information and all of that, and it takes a lot of time for them to put it together. And it's just so helpful because you can look at your calendar and say, oh, I could do that, I could do this, I could help with that, I want to be here, you know, and, or even just to know in your mind that the option is there. So thank you all for putting that out there, and don't forget to check your email and your text or the district website.
Okay. And Trustee Lee, you have something you'd like to report?
Yeah, just real quick, I wanted to let everybody know that putting on my other hat as the business faculty at Woodland Community College, all of the 8th graders from Middletown Middle School came and visited Woodland Community College yesterday and got to visit our welding lab and our science lab. I don't think they realized that we have cadavers at Woodland Community College. That was kind of exciting, I think. And culinary, our culinary program gave a presentation. And what's really cool about 8th graders that I think a lot of people aren't aware of is that as soon as they're done with 8th grade, they can start taking college classes that go on their college transcripts and their high school transcripts if we approve them here at MUSD. So college is expensive, and I just want parents out there to remember that now that your 8th graders have left middle school, you know, they can use some of those summer months and take online courses and get some of those gen ed classes out of the way before they go off to college, and can save you families thousands of dollars depending on where they go to school. So just remember that. And we here in Middletown, we're sort of on the cutting edge of dual enrollment. We really do a good job here, and it's because we have a close relationship with our local community college. So just keep that in mind and talk to your high school counselor about it if you're interested.
Well, thank you for that information. That's awesome. Trustee Patchy, did you want to report on anything?
Yeah, it's kind of been a busy month. I went to the track meet and got to help time with Superintendent Crane, so that was kind of fun. Zoe and I attended a Rotary meeting at the Greenview. They're establishing a satellite club, so that's really exciting to see. The career fair, I know we talked about it already, but I got to attend that one on behalf of a business that I run and interact with the kids. So it was really kind of neat to show them a different side of things you can do, even without necessarily taking the 4-year track for college and having some life skills. And then I also got to sit in on negotiations on Friday, which was very eye-opening and came to a good conclusion. Like Mr. Oaks said, upcoming things happening. This Friday night at the Lions Club is the FFA Awards Banquet, and so if anybody wants to see what all the ag kids have been up to for the year, which has been nuts, they're going to be having their end of the year banquet starting at 6 o'clock. And then next week, I'm heading up to Red Bluff to support the junior high rodeo kids. Their state finals are happening, and so they're attempting to qualify for the national team. Top 4 kids in each event will go, and they're competing against over 200 other kids, so it's going to be pretty crazy for them. And then I'll be attending a revisions budget perspective in Lakeport at the end of the month, so crazy, crazy. And then I would like to throw out congratulations to Tina Rockwell. I've worked with her for many, many years, and apparently she's saying goodbye to the high school office as the high school secretary and going on to bigger things beyond Middletown. So I'm excited to see her go, sad to see her go, but well wishes to her.
Thank you. And then I was able to judge senior projects, I think it was yesterday. That was pretty cool. You know, we have great students and we have great teachers, and I appreciate everybody. Superintendent Crane.
Yeah, so thank you. First of all, I want to let everybody know that the program that puts together our board agenda has been updated, not through any fault of our own. The powers that be that run the program decided that it needed to be updated, and it's kind of wonky. We're working on trying to figure out how we can make it less wonky. But just, if you're looking at the board agenda going, that looks weird, that's why. Yesterday actually marked my 1-year mark of officially working for MUSD, and so I was kind of excited about that. It has been an amazing year, and just in general, I've learned a lot. I've had a lot of fun, and I look forward to being here for many years to come. Hopefully that comes as a promise and not as a threat. I love working here. We still have a lot to do. There are some things, some improvements and refinements and things that we want to get in place, but I look forward to doing that with the Middletown School District community. And so just very excited about that. Last month, I was looking through my notes from last month to figure out kind of as a starting point for this month, and I kind of had to chuckle when I looked at last month, and my note said that the pace is about to pick up and the school year was about to start going a lot faster. Boy, if that was true a month ago, buckle up. All those events that were mentioned earlier and more are coming soon to a school near you. Lots of things going on. In fact, and you think about how compressed it is, as we talked about Shay's last meeting, the school year will be over by the time we have our next regularly scheduled board meeting. It is going to go so fast. And I'll have more to say when the MTA contract comes up, but I just want to say that I am super pleased that we are able to bring an MTA agreement to you, trustees, for your approval tonight. It has been a long process with lots of chapters to it, but we're glad that we landed where we did, and feel like we have a good foundation for moving forward from here. And so really pleased with the result of the work that we've done. So, and that's all I have to say about that for now.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Crane. And we're going to have some reports to the board. MTA, is there an MTA representative? Okay, CSCA representative, do you have something to report? Okay, but thank you for attending. Van Pelt representative.
Can I interrupt real quick and just share that we actually do have negotiations starting tomorrow? And so I'm excited about that too. We do. And no worries. I don't mean to be calling you out. Just that, just. Yeah. It's all good. But just that part of that building on the foundation that we've established with CSEA as well. So very happy.
Okay, and Mr. Green looking quite
I know he gets
dapper.
Mr. Green tonight
Yeah.
with the suit, doesn't
Yes, he does.
he? Does he wear suits to Calistoga or just to us?
I didn't want Superintendent Crane to feel lonely. being
Thank
the
you.
only one
I
to see-
appreciate it.
I will say
I
that
feel seen.
my tie clip is somewhere between here and Salinas, so now I understand the advantage of the bow tie.
Yeah, it's better on a windy day for
Thank
sure.
you. Next time, Thank you,
long
board
ago?
members, for allowing me the time to update you. Really, the biggest update we have on the bond projects is the middle school gym. I did send an email out for those that didn't get a chance to read it. A couple board meetings ago, we came to the board and asked for additional funding to do an additional boring exercise so we could gather more data on the soil back at the back of the site. That operation failed. Our intent was to get down to 66 feet and install a tube that we could probe and then send out signals into the soil and gather data that way. We were only able to get that tube down to 36 feet. So we took that data, combined it with the data that, from Mini Cannon for several years ago, same exact soil conditions. We presented to CGS a method that we proposed to gather data and present it to them. They accepted that method. We have since run several labs on the soil back there. What we were concerned about is we would come up with soil conditions that would kill the project. So soil conditions that made soil mitigation so cost prohibitive that we couldn't perform the project. It turns out right now with what we have a preliminary report, a draft final report from the geotech. We have shared that with our contractor and our structural engineer. They see no issues. So based on the soil, what the conditions we found in the soil, it shouldn't impact our current design, which is waiting for DSA approval. I need CGS approval before I can get DSA approval. So that draft report is in CGS's hands right now. As soon as they look at it and say, yes, we agree, this is a viable means of providing this data, we will submit. We anticipate a 1 to 3 week review time from CGS. Once they approve, we will schedule an appointment with DSA and get our final stamp on our drawings, and we'll be able to build the gym. So right now, that is, that's where we sit. Where we think we sit right now with CGS. So provided CGS is still on board with how we gather the data, our geotech report will stand, and we can move forward with DSA approval. We are delayed a bit. We should have started that project now, and this process has delayed the project. That's where we think we're at. Questions?
How delayed?
Pardon, ma'am?
How delayed?
We should have been starting this month. Actually, end of April. Yeah, end of April, we should have started that project. So, and just to get into the weeds a little bit on the delay, starting in April would have been fantastic because that means I would have bid the project in February. Now that we're delayed, bidding the project to start in the summer could have implications. We're getting really poor responses from subcontractors for work that starts in the summer because everybody's dance card's full, the people that perform this work. So when we get that final DSA stamp, we'll have to look and say, what is the market telling us right now? And is it now an advantageous time to bid this project to make sure we get the right responses? However, this is a design build project, so I have a hard number from that contract. So this isn't like one of our other projects where we present to bid and a project can come back grotesquely over budget. So I have that hard number from the contractor, and we expect that he'll hold that number. Okay?
Okay, are there any other questions from the board? Okay, thank you. Okay, now it's our favorite time. We're going to have acknowledgments of teacher and classified of the year. Superintendent Ryan, do you want to take?
I see Dave going that direction, but
Hey, Dave, I think we were going to go one step ahead of you. Thanks.
There it is. All right. I'm going to be up here a couple times tonight pretending to be the principal of Mini Cannon because Ms. Fisher is not able to be with us this evening. I'm looking for Elma. Is Elma here? There she is. Yay. With a big old smile. Come here, Elma. been lucky to be able to be over at Mini Cannon a couple of times to participate in announcements of Elma Patterson as our MUSD Classified Employee of the Year. And in fact, Elma is so cool that she isn't just the MUSD Classified Employee of the Year, she's actually been recognized as the Lake County Classified Employee of the Year. Yay. Elma has been a dedicated, passionate member of Team MUSD since 2014. She plays a vital role in supporting all students at Mini Cannon, especially our resource students. One defining aspect of Elma is her smile. Everybody who talks about Elma talks about her smile. Every Mini Cannon student, parent, and staff member starts their day with a smile from Elma as she works the morning car line. Her energy and optimism seem to be unlimited. I'm sure that she has the occasional bad day, but when she does feel a little bit down, you would never know it. That positive energy is contagious to Mini Cannon students and staff. Elma finds joy in celebrating student progress and achievements alongside fellow staff members and students. Her commitment, reliability, and enthusiasm make a meaningful impact in the learning environment, ensuring that every student feels supported and encouraged. Her impact on students in the school goes beyond the classroom, as we talked about the morning car line. She also spends time listening to and supporting students during passing time and out on the playground. Her smile, her heart, her passion for her school, her compassion for her students, her work ethic, her optimism, and her boundless energy combined to make her the perfect choice for MUSD and Lake County Classified Employee of the Year. I'm going to share one more point of personal privilege. When I was at Mini Cannon last week, they had an assembly in the blacktop at the back of the school. They were actually having Ballet Folklorico come and perform, and didn't let everybody know that they were going to be announced. That's when they announced to the school that she had gotten the Lake County recognition. And the best thing I heard all morning was one of the little kindergarten students say to his friend, "I am so proud of Miss Elma." And so anyway, congratulations. We are very proud of you. Teacher, Scott? Scott's going to do this one.
Hello, everyone. Well, it is my honor to introduce the Middletown Unified School District's Teacher of the Year, and I would like to please bring up Stephanie Johnson. All right. Indeed. So honored to have Stephanie up here. She deserves this award more than you know. She teaches transitional kindergarten, where she fully embraces her role as the queen of fun. Queen of fun, bringing boundless energy, joy, and warmth to her classroom. She understands that these early years are foundational, and she approaches each day with a spirit of enthusiasm that captivates her young learners. Whether through singing, dancing, or engaging hands-on activities, she creates a dynamic and welcoming environment where students feel excited to explore, learn, and grow. Beyond her vibrant personality, Ms. Stephanie is a consummate professional who arrives each day fully prepared to nurture her students, not only academically, but also emotionally and socially. She recognizes the unique needs of early learners and adapts her instruction to ensure every child feels seen, valued, and supported. Her patience and deep understanding of child development allow her to guide her students through this new journey with confidence and care. By fostering a classroom atmosphere rooted in kindness and encouragement, she helps build a strong foundation for their lifelong learning. Ms. Stephanie's approach to teaching is centered around meeting each student at their unique potential. This is truly a level of education that presents a wide spectrum of academic abilities and behavioral variations. Would you agree?
Good job.
She engages with empathy, patience, care, and love on all fronts. Ms. Stephanie's passion for teaching shines through all she does. Her dedication to her students extend beyond the classroom as she creates meaningful experiences that spark curiosity and a lifelong love of learning. She doesn't just teach academics. She shapes young minds, builds confidence, and fosters a sense of wonder that stays with her students for years to come. Her remarkable qualities warmly welcome young families to Coyote Valley community and set a high standard for her colleagues. Coyote Valley Elementary is incredibly fortunate to have such a devoted and inspiring educator, and we proudly celebrate her well-deserved recognition of Teacher of the Year. All right.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Middletown High School, Mr. McQueen.
Could I please have Allison Espinosa come on up? You don't get to leave yet. You have to stay in. Allison is our #1 student of the month for April, and we are so proud of her. She is an example of what it is to be a student here at Middletown High School. She's a fabulous student and a great person. And some of her teachers wrote, Allison is a diligent, hardworking student who consistently strives to take her understanding to the next level. She is kind and offers help whenever it is needed. That was from Mrs. Garrican. Mrs. Gibson wrote, super involved, does great quality work, and is a great human. And Mrs. Holt wrote, she is deserving of it, worked hard all year. Allison, although sometimes reserved, is a very friendly and driven student. She embodies the saying, lead by example, as Mr. Hall wrote. We just want to congratulate Allison, and she is a fantastic student. Thank you, Allison.
Okay, next we have the middle school. Okay, so you'll do something special for him. At- Okay.
I will say, when I was signing his certificate, I knew that there was a game, and I thought to myself, oh, how is this going to work? So now it makes sense.
Oh, and the game is tied, so.
Oh, wow. Okay, Cobb Mountain.
Game Changers has definitely changed the way we all see games.
Good evening. Cobb Mountain Elementary would like to call up Krister Anderson. Cobb Mountain Elementary is proud to announce Krister Anderson as our Student of the Month. Krister is kind, thoughtful, and determined. Academically, Krister is knocking it out of the park, speaking of baseball. He is currently testing in the 75th percentile in his star reading and has shown over 2 years' worth of growth so far this school year. He's involved in his own learning. He's figuring out how to be responsible for mastering content and how to follow through with assignment completion. He sets goals for himself and then puts in the hard work to achieve them. Krister is a role model for the students at Cobb Mountain. He's kind, thoughtful, and compassionate. He can often be found offering a fellow student a helping hand or finding ways to help the teachers and staff. Another of Krister's strengths is that he is flexible and willing to listen to multiple perspectives. When in collaboration with his peers, Krister is often focused on solutions and figuring out creative ways to solve any problem. He is a quiet leader that uses his skills to lift up his entire group. It is an honor to know Krister and to be able to watch him as he grows and learns. His growth mindset, determination, and kindness will continue to serve him well as he moves to middle school. Keep up the great work, Krister. We are so proud of you.
And Mr. Ferguson, Coyote Valley.
All right, I have the honor to bring up Coyote Valley's #1 Student of the Month, student for April. That would be Lola Foltz. Yes. Quite a fan club we have there, Lola. All right, so I have a letter here that is written by her teacher this year, Miss Jennifer Gaddy, with some help from her colleagues. It is with great pleasure that I announce Lola Foltz as the #1 student for Coyote Valley. Lola is extremely well-rounded and mature, especially for her age. She is constantly impressing me with how hard she works in school and out. She is responsible, organized, and very thoughtful. In the classroom, Lola is always focused and on task. She actively participates in all lessons and takes the most beautiful, detailed notes, which will pay off someday, definitely. Her projects are well thought out, organized, and creative. In the first 2 trimesters, she has earned all A's except for 1 B+. She is on her way to doing the same in the 3rd trimester. In math, she has already made 1.6 years growth and is performing math at almost a 7th grade level. In reading, she has a 94% comprehension, 167% of her AR goal for the trimester, and has read 1,007,700 words this year. Go Lola. Lola's extracurricular activities are also impressive. She plays soccer, cheer, basketball, and travel volleyball. She also likes to go skiing and travel with her family. This girl is one of the busiest people I know, and she still finds time to excel at everything she does. Being this busy has taught her to have great time management and responsibility. When she knew she was going to miss presentation day for her state report, she made sure to complete her report and project early to present to the class. She also turned in all her other assignments before leaving. These skills are going to make her successful in everything she does. And Ms. Mazzano said, Lola was a top student in my kindergarten class during the 2019-20 school year. She stood out as a role model for her peers, always making thoughtful choices and leading by example. Lola has a kind heart and was friends with everyone, bringing warmth and joy to her classroom. Her huge, beautiful, and infectious smile lit up every room she entered. Above all, she was a hardworking and dedicated learner who gave her best in everything she did. And Miss Maria added, I'm so proud of Lola. She consistently demonstrates a strong work ethic, a passion for learning, and a dedication to her academics. Her kindness and caring disposition makes her a great role model, both in and out of the classroom. While Lola was in my first grade class during our COVID years, she was always the first one online waiting for class to start. Her adorable face, looking through the computer screen, soaked up all the learning she could. She always stayed after class was over and talked to her friends and to me. She really made the most of school during those difficult times. Lola's perseverance, determination, positive mindset makes her an outstanding student and true asset to any class. Her work ethic and character are qualities that will lead her to success. Congratulations, Lola, on receiving the #1 award. You truly deserve this award. Love, Auntie Barriga. Mr. Schaefer said, in third grade, Lola was a fantastic SEAL Team 8 soldier. She was extremely loyal to our team and had everyone's back. Helpful and kind was Lola's attitude on a daily basis. She worked very hard and always had high expectations for herself, those around her, and especially for her teacher. Having a soldier like Lola in my SEAL team made me a better teacher. Mr. Schaefer salutes Lola Foltz. Lola's fourth grade teacher, Miss Moore, said Lola is the definition of hardworking and dedication. She puts forth her best effort and then puts in just a little bit more. Her drive and the way she challenges herself are impressive. She is also sweet and kind. What a truly wonderful combination. Congratulations, Lola. I am excited to see what you accomplish next. I feel so incredibly lucky to be Lola's fifth grade teacher. This is from Miss Gaddy, her closing. She brings beauty and creativity to everything she does and an incredible role model for all students. I'm going to miss her when she leaves for middle school, but I'm excited to see what she accomplishes. With her work ethic, time management, and desire to do her best, I know she'll do remarkable things. Congratulations, Lola. We are so proud of you. Good job.
Okay, and next we have Minnie Cannon Elementary Student Number 1 and Staff Number 1.
Doing my impression of Ms. Fisher. I also just want to let everybody know that Mr. McKinney, our high school principal, isn't here because the seniors have a reception in Kelseyville, and so that's where he is. So that's why he and Dr. McQueen have split duties. Get these in the right order. Okay, so I get to call up Tucker May. Okay, the cast is going to become part of this here in a minute. I'm going to hold on to this because you're going to have to shake hands. We'll give that straight to Mom here in a minute. We didn't tell him. Oh, you didn't tell him? This is how we found out! Oh my goodness! High five. All right. Tucker is the perfect person to represent Minnie Cannon as the District Student of the Month. He is self-motivated and diligent. He takes initiative in his learning. He demonstrates strong independence and consistently strives for excellence. He has a strong work ethic and always puts forth his best effort and never gives up no matter the challenge. Tucker is a compassionate, reflective learner who consistently shows empathy toward peers and approaches learning with a smile on his face and never gives up. He is always so respectful while thinking of others and making our classroom a much better place. Recently, Tucker broke his arm, and it just happened to be the arm that he writes with. Ooh, bad news. Miss Mackey asked him if he would be able to use the other arm to write, and he said he would try. Not only did he try, but he spent the last few weeks concentrating on how to write perfect letters that his handwriting is better than with his dominant hand. That's very impressive. Anybody who's tried that? Whew. Tucker has not complained one time about the things that we keep having him try to do with his non-dominant hand. We don't know where his strength comes from, but in class, the only reason we know his arm is broken is because of the cast. He has never complained about it hurting or bothering him at all. Tucker is a student who demonstrates remarkable inner strength, resilience, and determination in both academic and personal challenges. We are so proud of how far Tucker has come since the beginning of the year. Congratulations, Tucker. Love, Mrs. Mackey. All right, congratulations, Tucker. Now I get to call up Laura Pimentel. Congratulations. All right. Laura Pimentel is in her second year of teaching at Minnie Cannon Elementary. She is an outstanding teacher who brings warmth, organization, and engagement into the classroom. She is deeply committed to building strong relationships with students and colleagues, always ensuring that learning is both meaningful and enjoyable, both very important. Her lesson plans are well structured and creative, capturing students' interest and making each lesson impactful. As a family-oriented educator, she fosters a sense of community and support among those around her. Laura is not only an inspiration to her fellow staff members, but she is also always ready to lend a helping hand, making her an invaluable part of the school. Excuse me. She's open to learning new things and very collaborative. She gives 100%. You can see her regularly helping students understand concepts and complete assignments outside of her regular class time. She's always learning herself and is wanting to equip her students with the best and most important techniques for their learning growth. She is always mindful of helping them meet their grade level goals and exceeding them. You can see the confidence she helps her students achieve in their learning. She has great classroom management and engages the students in her lectures. She is doing a phenomenal job being new to teaching. I know Laura is new to teaching, but jumped in and hasn't skipped a beat. She's been working hard to meet the needs of all her students. She's one of the first people to step up and offer and offer to help any of us when we need it. She is happy all the time, has a great sense of humor, and everyone loves her. She is what Minnie Cannon needed. Congratulations.
Lokanoma.
Lokanoma here.
Yeah.
Could I please have Aila Rivera? We are so pleased that Aila Rivera is our first student of the month here. And Mrs. Buckholtz has some great testimonials that I'll read concerning Aila. Aila Rivera is one of those rare students who I know will be a lifelong learner. She welcomed and was welcomed by her group mates. Daily, she demonstrated genuine interest in the tasks set before her. Aila completed her work with care and thoughtfulness. She went above and beyond the call of duty in all she did so that her efforts were the best that she was capable of demonstrating. For example, she willingly took copious amounts of notes even when notes were not required. She achieved all A's this semester. Interestingly, Aila still writes in a beautiful cursive hand even when she's writing things only she will see. This young woman will shine in life at whatever she chooses to do. It has been an absolute delight to have Aila in my class this year. Aila, congratulations, great job.
And Lokanoma staff number 1.
Could I please have Olivia Cood come on up? Mrs. Buckholtz and Mr. McKinney wrote some nice things about you, so I'm going to talk about you. They stated, "We are a small team at Lokanoma, and Olivia, our secretary, is a huge part of our success. We started the year with both a new aide and a new secretary. Olivia's learning curve was steep, and she stepped up every time she needed to learn something new that is a part of our overall program. She did an excellent job in everything that she did. Many of the things she learned to do were self-taught. Whenever she needed training, she sought out the appropriate expert and met with them. Olivia goes above and beyond the call of duty daily to thoroughly complete her tasks. She is always professional and sincere in her dealings with the Loke families, and the kids love her. Honestly, I can't imagine Loke functioning so well without her. She is a prize and fantastic person to be working with us. And I just want to say, on a personal note, meeting you, it's been a joy working with you, and I enjoy talking about pigs and the farm. We'll have to talk a little bit more about it. Anyway, thank you so much. You're an awesome employee. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, if you have families that need to get back to their dinner or homework, or you can go ahead and leave, or you can stick around. We have a lot of items on our agenda tonight.
We're going to talk about literacy screeners. I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, the next section. Yeah,
Nice try.
or at least until.
No? Yeah, good luck though.
These
Enjoy.
are supposed
That's
to
why
be
they're here
passed
too.
down. Okay, item H, community comments. Those in the audience desiring to address the board regarding items not on the agenda may do so at this time. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board and make a brief statement, express his or her viewpoint, or ask questions regarding matters related to the school system. Please understand the board does not take action on non-agendized items. Got to change that word.
I got you.
Board,
good.
Board Policy 9323. Do we have anybody that has petitioned to speak? Nope. Is there anybody that forgot to and would like to have their 3 minutes? Because we are here to listen. This is an important time for us too. Okay. Okay, next we're going to have is our consent agenda. calendar, which is A through G. Trustee Berlager, would you address item D, the donation letters, please?
Yes, we just have one thank you this evening that goes out to Sutter Health for their donation to the MHS tennis team in support of our athletes. And so we just wanted to extend a thank you to them for their graciousness.
Okay, thank you. Are there any items that the board would like to pull for discussion?
I just wanted to acknowledge that I had a communication with Superintendent Crane about G, so I don't know if you wanted us to talk about that now or...
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Okay.
So one of the things that happens periodically is that books, either through they're old and hammered or they're old and not getting used, every now and again we're going through and kind of removing books from our collection, whether they're library books or textbooks. And we mark them as discard, we take them out of our inventory, but one of the things, rather than just throwing them in the trash can, one of the ideas that we have shared is the idea of putting them out for students to take, just as, because we're going to be disposing of them anyway, have students take them home. And to those of us who haven't seen it, you're going to think I'm making it up. It is amazing when you put out like old math textbooks, you put out old 5th grade math textbooks, how many 2nd graders want to take them home? I know that sounds weird, but it really is true. Kids love to take the books home, and they may get a little bit of use, they may not get any use, they may get lots of use, but whatever it is, it's going to be more use than if we just put them in a trash can.
I just want to say thank you for taking the time and making the effort to allow these books to have a second life. I went through and looked at every title on the list, and there's some classics in there, and there's some that I know have great pictures in there. And, you know, I think the younger kids would be able to use them maybe for collages, and, I mean, who doesn't want to read Animal Farm again, you know? And so,
Right? We're all equal. Some of us are just more equal than others.
Exactly. So I just really hope that these books can find a second home, because it breaks my heart to see any books go in the trash can. So thank you, Superintendent Crane, for doing that.
Okay, and I have a question about item F, the contracts. Item F2, is there a reason, or what is the reason for this contract? It's legal services with Perry, blah, 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 LLP contract.
Yeah, there should be an I in there. It's Perry and Villarreal.
Mm-hmm.
There should be one I and one fewer R, I think. This is a law firm that focuses specifically on special education and provides services not just for us, but also for the SELPA. And so we use them for special education things, specifically because it's their expertise, and because it's the same firm with us and the SELPA, it helps to streamline those services and make them more efficient.
Okay, so we really don't have an estimated cost of what it's going to, because we don't know until we need to use them?
Right, yeah, it's more of a retainer,
like a
use as
legal,
needed.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, any other items that you'd like to have open for discussion? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Move to approve.
I second.
It's been moved by trustee Oaks, seconded by trustee Berlager. Student trustee, do you have a motion?
Yes.
Or, okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed 5-0. Okay, business and facilities, revised second interim cash flow. Tanya, will you speak on that?
At the time of second interim, I had started the cash flow statement and did not get back to it and complete it when I did the second interim. I didn't finish entering in some of the data in the later months of the year on the report, and I did not go back and tie it to the budget. So this is, additionally, there is the GSPP grants that was received, and I had not budgeted. We'd received the revenue, but I had not budgeted the grant award, nor had I budgeted the expenditures, and those are also disclosed in here. And there's a a little caveat at the top, where we received the cash in February. The budget was done in April, so again, after second interim. But we will, even though those are budgeted in here as if it's going to be expended this year, it will not be expended this year. That is over $1 million. This grant, I have to tie it all back together so that everything is matching. And for the GSPP grant that is also in here, will not be spent until, none of the funds of that will be expended until next year. So this is just bringing this back, recognizing that, and completely bringing forward where this has been tied out to our budget. So,
And those funds are to cover 5 years.
yes, on the GSPP grant, that it's, so the actual award that we received is 1.2 million, and we actually have received just over $1 million in cash right now, and that is for a 5-year program for our business, health, ag, and IT. So there's business pathways, or pathways for all of those programs that are in there. And because the amount of the award that we received was less than what we applied for, the teachers who got together and applied for this grant are working with the state right now to figure out how they're going to be cutting back and what they have to cut back on in each one of those programs, and that's why the budget hasn't been established yet. So, and that's been a slow process working with the state on that. So, I was anxiously waiting, trying to get that in for second interim, and it just wasn't happening, and we still don't have that information back. So, hopefully, we'll have it there before the new year.
And this is an information item?
Yes, this is just informational. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it won't have any more information in June then when you do your budget report? This won't need to be figured out, it'll just have a placeholder, correct?
For the GSPP?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just have the placeholder, and the GSPP, which this might be, so it is not a deferred revenue, meaning we've already received the money up front, it's a fund balance, so it'll just roll into a designation, it's restricted, and then I carry it over into the new year, and at that point, it gets budgeted out, and if we don't have the budgets yet, it will continue to sit as a placeholder item in materials and supplies, which is where it is right now, until we receive the actual itemization of what they're going to expend the funds on for services, materials, if there's any salaries included, whatever that might be. As soon as we get that, we'll get that set up. But more than likely, that is not going to happen until next year, and possibly not until first interim next year. So keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, you have any other questions, board? No? Okay, item B, approval of inspector of record, John Miller for the Middletown Middle School new gym. Did you want to speak on that?
Certainly. For every DSA project, there are 2 types of inspectors that are required. One is a DSA IOR. That's what is being proposed to the board tonight. And the other is special inspection. So special inspection is for things like concrete pours, blocks, bolts, things like that. This IOR is one that would be on site every day, observing the project as required by DSA. He reports directly to DSA. And even though we still don't have approval, we're trying to get everything lined up so that when we get approval, we're ready to go. So that's what this proposal is for. And just to kind of prove the point that bond projects boost local economies, that IOR has moved to Middletown in anticipation of this project.
Wow.
That's good. So I guess my question is, that's a lot of money.
Yes,
and,
it is.
And how does that work into our budget on, where is that?
So he's budgeted into our overall budget,
Okay.
as well as special inspection. He's actually under what we budgeted for.
So in other words, you knew this was going to be something that we had to
Absolutely,
budget for,
absolutely.
and so it's in there.
In our we have budgets configured that apply to every DSA project. It's got every aspect that one could anticipate having on a DSA project. And that inspector of record cost is based on a percentage that we experience throughout Northern California. So what you see there is budgeted for, and it was anticipated. I would say this, that even though we're asking you to approve the contract tonight, we're not going to move him forward on anything. There's nothing to inspect, but we're not going to move him forward on anything until we know we have a project. We're just trying to be ready for that when that time comes.
You
And
know,
we
Mike,
will be bringing another contract for special inspection to you as well.
there's just so much to know, you know, on all of this, and I don't mean to, I just worry about us running out of money before we even,
So we have those
Hit the
concerns
ground.
as well, and I was actually speaking to the CBO prior to the meeting. Van Pelt has recently hired a CBO from a large district down in Southern California, and we are going to have her scrub all of our numbers to make sure that we're in alignment. We've gone through that exercise with Ms. Michelle, and we're confident, we're happy with where we're at. Another set of eyes never hurts.
you know, one of the things that I really pride our district on, especially since Jeff's joined the team, is transparency. And I think that that's where I come from, is that I don't understand a lot of, you know, what goes into it. And so I'm so glad that we have you guys here to keep us abreast of it and to get the information to us. So that's why I ask these questions,
Yeah.
but,
So
you know.
this is also something I've gone over briefly with the CBOC. Your CBO has seen our budget reports. I would be happy to set up a remote meeting and go through our master budget reports so you can see all the aspects that go into that. And then you could share it with the rest of the board. Be happy to do that. Wouldn't take more than 30 minutes.
Maybe Chris could join me on that one.
Yeah, I could. It might make you sad, but a lot of money goes in that.
Yeah.
Like this inspector, he's pretty much just going to be on site every day, all day,
Yeah,
inspecting.
but we
So-
don't start paying him until the project starts,
That's
though.
correct.
That's what I'm understanding.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and so that brings me to, it says it's good for 9 months, you know, so 9 months starting when we start the project?
That's
or
correct.
So these
9
dates
months
will
from
change.
when the DSA 102 IC goes in, which basically starts the project officially with DSA.
Because the contract does state it ends at
February 27th.
February, yeah.
And it's essentially a T&M type thing, so if he
Excuse me?
doesn't use
Hang
all
on,
of his hours.
wait, T&M?
Time and material,
Thank you.
yeah. So if he doesn't use all of his hours, he doesn't bill all of his hours, another interesting point is DSA has recently made kind of a judgment ruling that if you're installing CMU, which is concrete masonry units, it's a cinder block wall.
Thank you.
That it requires essentially constant inspection, special inspection. So we've experienced this down in Calistoga. For special inspection, you're paying the special inspector from his point of origin, wherever that is in the Bay Area, to travel to the site and stand there and inspect all day long the installation of the block process.
At some point, he's at the manufacturing plant, right? For the batch that's coming?
For the concrete, so when they actually fill the block wall with concrete, that's a different inspection. But for CMU inspection, it's they're inspecting the mixing of the grout, the placing of the block, the placing of the reinforcing steel. That costs a fortune. It's an entire block building.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
So what we're trying to do to lower our cost is we're trying to work with this inspector and possibly get him certified to inspect CMU so that we're not having to pay someone to come here every day.
Seems like we're lucky to even find an IOR.
Pardon?
Just lucky to even have found an IOR.
We are. We're very lucky to have John. We're looking forward to working with him. And I'm excited that he moved to Middletown.
Does he have a large family, like
He does not,
18
no,
kids,
unfortunately.
K through?
He's not going to increase your ADA.
Mr. Davis?
Mr.
I know. Trying to be formal. You have a question to,
My question is just on the expenditure there, is that originally in the $12 million budget for the gym, or is that separate?
So the budget for the gym is not 12 million.
Well,
Okay.
The hard cost, the design build, is $12 million. Our budget for the gym exceeds that. So when we budget and master budget for a project, it's way more than what we bring to the board and ask for. We've budgeted over that 12 million, so that we have everything from AV, so there's speakers in the gym, obviously, furniture for classrooms, there's moves, anything you could experience in a construction project, we have in the budget. Some of those things don't apply to the gym. Some of those things don't apply to this project. We usually leave those plug numbers in there, including, like we showed the CVOC, there's contingency and there's allowances. Things that, we never budget to exactly what we think it's going to cost. We always budget for the unforeseen, for the problems, or having to rebore for a geotech report. So the 12 million is just for design, build, team cost. We have a relatively detailed and expansive budget for the entire project.
Okay, wait one moment. So Ken, if you could direct your question to the board, and then if you could direct your answer to the board. Thank you. That's okay.
I was just wondering that was in the original budget then for the gym for this this inspector?
Yes. No. He said yes before. That's what he described before.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I just didn't want it to be $200,000 extra, and then if this is a 9-month contract, we're not building the gym in 9 months. So is it a not to exceed $200,000, or is it just like an open-ended, it starts at 200, it could end up at 400 if it takes 3 years to build,
I'm reading the contract right now. It says not to exceed $215,000.
in the 9-month period of the contract?
It says May 12th, 2025 to February 27, 2026.
Right, but we're not gonna be done with the gym in February 26th.
And his services won't start until we start construction.
So you probably would have an update to the contract that would extend the time, but not the cost.
If he uses all $220,000, $215,000, then we would come back for more.
So he would use it you said it's time and materials, but it's mostly time.
There shouldn't be any material.
Right, so it's mostly time. So the only way it would go beyond this is if once the project starts, there's something that extends the time of the project
That is
more
correct.
than 9
And-
months.
And that is based on full time, 8 hours a day, every single day. We don't anticipate that being required.
So if there's a week or two that his time isn't needed, we're not paying him for those 2 weeks.
That is correct.
Okay, do you have any other questions?
I will say we started a 15,000 square foot science building in July, and we're going to be handed over the keys at the end of this month. So it's not impossible to build a gym in 9 months.
I'm taking we're not going to finish a gym in 9 months as a challenge.
Well, I like that challenge. That's on record, right?
Yeah.
I have the right contractor.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to get a motion to approve our contract, where am I? 6B, approval of Inspector of Record John Miller contract.
I move to approve item
Second.
6B.
It's been moved by trustee Patchy, seconded by trustee Oaks. Student trustee, do you have a vote?
Yes.
Okay, and all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed 5-0. Okay, board-related items. First read, board policies. So this is a time to take to review the first read and because when it comes back to us as a second read, hopefully any questions will have been answered and adjustments are made to the policy, so we could have an approval on the second read. Is there any questions or suggestions on the first read? Okay. Item B, second read and approval of board policy regulations. Do I have a motion to approve item B, second read and approval of board policy regulations?
Move to approve.
It's been moved by trustee Lee. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second by trustee Berlager. Is there any discussion? Any questions? Okay, student trustee, do you have a vote?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Pass 5-0.
Eight.
Student items, interdistrict transfers. Item A, do I have a motion to approve item A? Interdistrict transfers.
I move
to
to
approve.
approve.
It's been moved by trustee Berlager,
second it.
seconded by trustee Oaks. Any discussion? And our student trustee, do you have a vote?
Yes.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, oppose, pass 5-0. Item 9, personnel. We have 9A, new offers, additional assignments. It's our PAR personal action report. Do I have a motion to approve item 9A?
I move to approve item 9A.
It's been moved by trustee Patchy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Oaks. Any discussion? Student trustee, do you have a vote?
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. Item 9B, final action on resolution 21-2425 with a decision not to reemploy classified employees for the 2024-2025 school year. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the title. I'm happy to provide some clarification.
Thank you.
So it says decision not to reemploy. This is the reductions. This is the classified employee reduction. So our campus supervisors, technology specialists, and bus drivers that are being reduced in hours. So it's not that we are eliminating those positions, but we are reducing the hours. This is a formal everything that happens is in this category. There's a preliminary that has to be done by March 15th and a final that has to be done by May 15th. So this is not new to any of these. We have been working with these employees. They understand. There are some who are in various states of working towards completing retirements, but they haven't finalized that yet, so we still have to go through with the process. And that's not all of them by any means. I don't want to be accused of lack of transparency. But this is finalizing what we did earlier, and we've already been in communication and working with all of these individuals.
So why does it say 24, 25?
That's a great question. It should say 25, 26.
That's why I was kind of
Where at?
correct.
On the title,
9B.
It's in the agenda, the MOU.
in the title and the
Yeah.
agenda.
MOU is correct, though.
Resolution is right.
Yeah, and we will be delivering final notices to these employees in the next couple of days.
Okay.
They will have the correct dates on them.
So whoever moves needs to make an edit to the.
Can we move to amend?
You just wrap it all up.
So I move to accept resolution 21-2425, except with an amendment to 2526.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Patchy to approve or accept the final action on resolution 21-2425 with the correction of changing the dates, 2024 2024 to 2025 to 2026 school year. Any other discussion?
Do we have a second?
Do we have a second?
I second.
And trustee Berlager second, and do we have any other discussion? And student trustee, you have a
Yes.
vote? And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. Okay, item 9C, approval of tentative agreement between MUSD and MTA.
Okay, so this is the agreement that we've been working toward, and as talked about before, really glad that we were able to reach this agreement in a manner which allows us a couple of things. First of all, it puts us in a position where we are approving some new stipends, so we can make sure that those are applied to individuals who are filling those roles for the 24-25 school year. We're very happy about that. It increases the stipends that are being paid for peer induction and mentor support for those who are supporting our new teachers. It provides a stipend for middle school leadership. It provides a stipend for middle school soccer. So some people who have been doing some work that has been above and beyond, and being able to recognize that financially. There's also some contingency language about a potential salary increase that is based on when we get to unaudited actuals in September, if our unrestricted general fund balance grows, that we'll be able to share some of that growth with our employees. And again, it's contingent on that happening. So for me, the thing that I'm most excited about, which is going to maybe sound weird to those from outside the process, is that I'm happy for the relationships that we're able to build between MUSD administration and MTA leadership. I don't think it comes as a surprise to anybody that there's been some unsettled leadership at the district level in MUSD for the last several years. And as I said before, my plan is to be here for a while. And so being able to work through these things, some folks are going to roll their eyes because there's always a story or a metaphor. Relationships are like a tree, that the wind is what causes the tree to grow roots. And so it's going through difficult times together that is what causes your relationship to grow roots and grow strength. And so I'm very optimistic about where we are moving forward. That's not all included in the resolution.
Okay, first off, do I have a motion to approve item 9C, approval of tentative agreement between MUSD and MTA?
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Oaks and seconded by trustee, who seconded?
Gotcha.
Patchy. Is there any discussion? I just was wondering, I meant to ask this earlier, about the retro part of it. I didn't quite understand the 850.
Okay, so here's where that comes from. So in looking at trying not to kill the people who work in our business department, a retro check presents a lot of logistical challenges of having to undo what has been done and then redo it. And so to have to do that, by the time we get to unaudited actuals, which will be September, by the time we're looking at a retro check, it would be probably October. And so we would have to go back more than a year's worth to be able to do that. But where the $850 comes from is it's basically 1% for our 24-25. And rather than trying to calculate exactly what the 1% would be for everybody, the 850 is an average. It's actually 843 was the average of that. We decided to round it off to 850. And so that's an average, and then people will just get that check. And it will be for people who are currently employees. So if someone starts here next year, they won't get that check. If someone is here right now and leaves us, we'll mail it to them. If somebody started the year and isn't here now, they won't get it either. You asked a simple question, you got a very long answer. I
No,
hope that's
thank
okay.
you. It was, you know, I mean, I understood,
Okay.
I probably understood the fact of why it was there. I just didn't
That's
know
all right.
if it was back to 24, 25
Yeah.
school year.
Yeah,
it
and
is.
that
Okay.
comes back to the math that we did on the reason why the amount of growth in our unrestricted general fund balance is what it is. That $150,000 growth is not a random number. That was our calculation based on the mediator's recommendation of what it would cost to give a 1% raise to all employees. One of the things to remember is that with CSEA, that part of our agreement language with CSEA is that anything that goes to MTA in terms of a salary increase or something would also go to CSEA. And then it will be up to the board to determine administration, whether they're included in that.
Okay. Okay, so we have an action, we have it on the, who was it that?
We have a motion and a second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. We have a motion from Patsy and a second from Oaks. And student trustee, do you have a vote on this?
Yes.
Okay, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. Okay, curriculum and instruction, literacy screener adoption recommendation.
And I'm happy to say that someone's going to talk about this that's not me.
Is it okay if I stand here so I can push the button?
Sure.
Okay. Good evening. I'm very excited to be able to come and talk to you about the reading difficulty screener recommendation that we have. As I'm sure you all know, CDE is requiring that all public school districts in California adopt and implement a reading difficulty screener, kindergarten through second grade, adopt and implement in the 25-26 school year. I have a very short slideshow. The first slideshow is to talk, the first slide is to talk about the purpose and the goals of the screener, and the second is to delineate what it is not. But the big goal of the screener is to ensure that early identification. So it's really focused on phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency in grades kindergarten through second grade. And it is supposed to, the results of it are to be analyzed by teachers, shared with parents, and then those results are to be used to change instruction. That is the main purpose of the screener, is to help identify students who potentially would struggle in reading and get them early intervention. It provides assessment for both English speakers and non-English speakers as they are available. What this screener is not intended to be is considered an evaluation or diagnostic tool to determine eligibility for special education. It is not to be used to determine eligibility for a 504 plan. It is not to be used for high stakes testing purposes, and it is not a formal evaluation. It is part of a robust assessment system with early literacy that helps our teachers and parents identify kids who might struggle and offer them early supports so that they are able to gain ground and join their peers where they should be. The recommendation comes from Jennifer Peblier, Brandy Fisher, and myself. We were able to be part of a 4-day workshop with LCOE, where we worked with districts from around the county, and we looked at the available screeners. CDE had approved 4 of them. 3 of them were able to meet K through 2 needs, which is what the requirement is. 1 was didn't include kindergarten, so we would have had to adopt 2. So that one seemed automatically off the table. We are recommending that Middletown Unified goes with the multitude screener. It is coming out of UCSF. There are a few reasons why we really liked the screener. One is that it is built on neuroscience. It's in beta form, and it has been tested with lots of schools around California. They give you immediate results when you give the test. Teachers will get results right away. We'll be able to give the assessment and then analyze together within a week, within a day if you wanted to, but really having conversations across the sites and across grade levels. So what are we going to do with this data? And they give you actionable next steps. So not just here's our data, but how are we going to help kids with it? And one of its other selling features is that it is provided at no cost to California public schools. They're coming right out of San Francisco, so should we need them, they've assured us that they'll be able to be here quickly. But we're excited about the potential to partner with multitudes.
Great. So for the training part of it, you'll be trained or?
Yes, they offer 2 different types of training: asynchronous, which is free at no cost, and then they have also, which we're very excited about, the state has given us a one-time chunk, and that is to be used for professional development only, and not sure that it's coming again. But Multitudes also offers, for very reasonable, they'll come out and they'll give us the second piece. So not just how to analyze the data, but then what do you do with that data? So it will give all the teachers next steps, which I'm very excited about that piece.
I'm excited to see it come to us and, help our students. That's great. Thank you. Are there any, do I have a motion on the table to approve?
I'd move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Berlager, I believe, and seconded by trustee Oaks. And any further discussions, any questions? Okay, student trustee, do you have a vote?
Yes.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed 5-0.
Can I take just a moment? I just want to brag on our elementary team for a second. That as you used to know, I don't know if you still remember, but I come to this position, my last position was Director of Educational Services. And so often when we talk about a literacy screener or elementary report cards or those kinds of things, like my instinct is to want to jump in and get up to my elbows. But I don't have time to do that. And so what we have instead is an amazing group of elementary principals who are actually getting together once a week to go over things that they're working on, and to try to make sure that our elementary schools, while they maintain their individual character, are also unified in what they are doing instructionally and working towards improving the education for our students at all 3 school sites. And so I just couldn't be more excited for our elementary principals and how they are taking the ball and running with it.
Great.
To go from a different sport analogy from baseball earlier today to.
Okay, thank you for that. Number 11, correspondence. Do we have any correspondence anybody needs to
Can
talk
write you a
about?
note.
No, please don't.
Okay.
Item 12, pending agenda items. Is there any agenda items that the board would like to see on the agenda coming up? Okay, item 13, announcements. I would like to thank Shay for spending her time, her last year with us. I believe it's your last
2
year.
years.
Last 2
Yeah,
years.
Well, but yeah, she's been with us. She was here when I got here.
Yeah.
She's been working on the board longer than I have been.
And so I hope that you're talking with some of your, classmates, juniors coming up, or I believe it's usually a senior that sits here, and you're trying to talk to them and tell them how, it's very valuable and important.
Yeah, I've talked with Mr. McKinney. We'll be getting applications out for a new student next year.
Okay, thank you for that. Thanks for doing that. Anything else anybody wants to say? Okay, 14 important upcoming dates. We have a list of them, and they're all, I think, on the.
Check the
on
websites, check your
the
schools.
websites, yeah.
As Ms. Berlager said earlier, those communications that come out each week from school sites.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ask you, Jeff, if you could send us, maybe the board members, so that we could say, yeah, we'll attend this, we'll attend this.
Yep,
So
yep.
that we
It was-
can't, we don't miss anything.
Yeah.
And 15, final adjournment.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Lee and seconded by trustee Patchy. And all in favor? Our student trustee, do you have a vote?
You have a recommendation?
Yes.
You'd like to stay another 10 minutes? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, passed 5-0.
Sun's still up and everything.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you, Shay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shay.
Now that you guys